product form. This should not allow me to do anything, but I'm just showing you. Okay, now we can move on with going back to the app routing module, and I have to define the path for that. Let's add another one. We can quickly just copy this. There you go. And let's create another one. Okay. So what we want to do is have the path admin and then product form. You want to use the convention of using the admin because we don't want anyone editing our product form. There you go. And can basically just copy this for now. And let's have this so that we can edit by ID. Now we should also import that component. Actually, we should have done this first. Import product form component from where it resides. But however, if you have an editor, me adding this automatically generated that one. Okay. Let's now go to the, hit save first, the style CSS. Let's go to the global one. Let's add import, then Angular material pre-built themes. There's you can choose indigo pink, pink blue gray, purple green, the purple amber. I'll choose the purple green .css. Again, this is from the Angular material. And for our body, let's add a margin of 0 and auto. Let's see. And we forgot a semicolon. Okay. Now let's go to the product form component HTML. Now let's try to fix that. And let's start with the main class. And let's name that product form container. Okay. And inside we'll add an h2 tag with the directive of ngIf and ngIf book ID. If there's book ID, sorry, else hide. So if we enter the book ID that exists, we can basically say update the product information. If the book ID does not exist in the database, it won't show this h2 tag. ng template. So ng template is basically another structural directive in Angular that surrounds the host element and its descendants. Okay. Then inside of that we can create have the hide. So going back, just to clarify the ngIf, it's gonna be it's gonna show this h2. If the book ID is not valid, it's not gonna show the h2. And the else is hide. What it will do is basically go to the find the an ng template with the hashtag hide, so that it will now generate this h2 tag instead. Alright. Now we can start creating our form, and we start with the class form container. And remember, we added a lot of material UI, so we can now use that material form field. So we can show that there's an input using the material UI mat input, and have placeholder, and let's say product title, and then the type would be in text, and let's have the ng model. The ng model would now get this title. Let's make sure that it's required for the user to put that. ng model allows a one-way binding, meaning that the data you put there would be binded. Next is, you can just quickly copy this. I highlight that, Alt Shift down, and I can call these, let's double check what we have in our products. We have name, quantity, and price. Name, quantity, and price. So product name instead, it's better. Let's do name, and product quantity. Product quantity. Let's just do quantity instead, that's better. And let's do price. Let's make this better. Quantity. Now we finish the form field, but we still need a submission button for that one. And just create a button tag, and let's use the material UI mat raise button. Click equals handle save. So handle save would now be the value or the event would now be passed on to this click, and that's the way we write it down. And let's see how it looks like for now. Products 1 doesn't look like. Let's go to the not that CSS, to the product form CSS. Product form component CSS, it's empty. You can define the form container. Display in flex. Flex direction, you want it in column. Margin in the top. Let's add 25 pixels. Form container. Let's have it maybe a width of 100%. And the product form container, you want to have a width of 50 pixels and margin 50 pixels, and auto minimum width is 300 pixels. And let's see. Now, before we move on, I'd like to recap the Angular stuff that we used. Again, the ng model basically creates a form control instance from a domain model and binds it to a form control element. right? In this case, the parenthesis click equals handle save. It, the way you do event binding from a click handler. So the click on the left equals sign, yep, is basically the target of the binding, okay? And the text in quotes from the right is the template statement, which responds to the click event by calling the component's handle save method. Again, this is the target of the binding, and this is the template statement, which calls the handle save method. That would be located in in here, handle save method. It will call this one. And this would be shown in the next video, the handle save.